Greetings and salutations, one and all, and welcome. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition Extinction Curse. Joining me today are these wonderful and amazing people for the very first time. My Patreons who support my channel and help me keep the lights on. This is episode 1. We are embarking on this new quest, and I cannot wait for you guys to see and meet all of these colorful characters in today's session. So good morning, everyone. How are we all doing?
Hello.
Good morning. Doing great.
Awesome.
Great.
Yay!
Hi.
All right, I love hearing that. I love hearing that. Now, guys, before we kick off, of course, let's take a quick moment to thank the sponsors of our channel, without which we would not be able to do this kind of show, or we couldn't continue to do this kind of thing. And that's, of course, courtesy of these fine, wonderful, and amazing people. We have, of course, Hero Forge, the people who help us create and design such amazing characters over on their browser app. You can go to their website, and you can not only create these dudes, but you can also get them 3D printed for yourself for your at-home games. Or if you're like me and you play a lot of virtual games, you can pay $50 for a year's subscription to Hero Forge to make these really, really cool tokens, to make artwork, and do some really, really amazing stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, one of the coolest things that you can do is take the same character and just change their poses based on, like, their mood. If they change costume, you can change their costume. I just love how dynamic it makes my games. Next up, of course, playing the role of our soundboard, we have nothing but the finest in Sirenscape sounds. Yay! Because every epic game deserves to sound epic, and that is exactly what we have done here by using, of course, Sirenscape. So if you are looking for a soundboard yourself, consider checking it out. And lastly, for our VTT of choice, we have Fantasy Grounds, which you can see behind me and underneath me, because that is the VTT that I have spent money on, and it is the one that I enjoy. It makes me look good. That's the important bit. Now, we aren't going to introduce our characters today. We are simply going to introduce ourselves, because we will have a moment to introduce everyone's characters as we play today's session. So I'm going to go around the table, starting, of course, with our newest member to the group, and that is, of course, our dear friend, Schooly Eye. Schooly Eye, welcome in.
Yeah.
You excited for today?
And hello. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure chaos is going to ensue.
Oh, absolutely. Anil's on this table. Yeah, 100%. But is there anything in particular you're looking forward to in this adventure?
Mystery, I think it's going to be. Mystery and wonder, I think is going to be the key.
Mystery and wonder. I love it. I love it. Next up, of course, joining us from their carpentry workshop, the Keebler elf. No. We have none other than Avarian CA. G'day, mate. How you doing?
I was doing pretty good. Up until recently, I was doing quite well.
So tell us, what are you looking forward to in this epic adventure? What are your hopes for this?
Oh, I hope to dive into the kind of ridiculousness that I think my character will mature into, which will be fun, and basically a running tally on Neil's deaths.
Yep, running tally on Neil's death. I think that's a thing. Wasn't Avarian's character Misha? No, it
No.
was not.
Uh,
It was
but
Walter.
Rock's character is
Yeah,
Misha.
Rox is Misha. So
Oh,
they-
Rox
they
is
are
Misha?
still messed up.
Yeah, you have the names.
Okay, hold on. I'll fix it. Okay, next up, of course, we have our dear friend Sean. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Oh man, I'm excited for this. This will be good. I always like starting a new campaign. It's like, I don't know. It's like fitting into a new set of clothes. You know, breaking it in, enjoying it.
That's very strange, but sure.
You put the wrong
sometimes
size on
like
first,
if you
and then
get
you
like
put the
an
right
outfit
size.
like let's say you got a new Halloween costume. It's like, yeah, you get to, I don't know. I'm weird.
I'm just gonna leave those, okay? Look. I mean, if I buy clothes, it's because mine are broken. But that's me. Well, it's good to have you back, and I can't wait to see this new character into full fold. Next, of course, we have playing the role of. Well, no, I can't tell you about that. I just go straight into it. But next up, of course, we have, of course, the return of Rock Protector.
What's up, everybody? Oh, when am I excited? I get to start the beginning of the last campaign. I came in the middle of it, so I get to start the beginning of this. So I am so excited about that. Yeah.
Wonderful. I love that. And of course, last but not least, ready to cause some trouble on my channel as always, we have Immersion Diversion, aka Neil. G'day, mate.
Hello. Michael already said it. He said everything I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna cause
Causing
trouble.
confusion
That's the whole thing.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
No,
What are you looking
I'm
forward
always
to?
just
Tell us.
excited as new story. I love new
New story.
campaigns just because I love new beginnings are always fun. So
I like that.
I'm
I
excited
like
to
that.
see what happens. Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. I love that. Okay.
Neil.
Well.
Yeah.
Hashtag Team Neils. Don't start.
Yeah.
Don't start. Don't encourage this. Look, you all get to go home at the end of the stream. I have to keep working with it. All right. So anyway, guys, before we get going, as always, we at the Dead Aussie Gamer channel don't like you guys to just sit there and be idle. We love you guys to be a part of our sessions as well. And there are a number of ways that you guys can interact with the game as we play. Firstly and foremostly, just by being here, you earn channel points. Subscribers earn more channel points, of course, which always goes in great appreciation. And then there's a bunch of things that you can do, ranging from giving advice to our heroes through insight bonuses, divine intervention, forcing rerolls of me and my players, even divine healing, which can restore them from the brink of death if need be. So these things and more can definitely influence the game. But if you are feeling particularly generous, there are a number of different rewards that you can get here for monetary reasons. Now, as we can see, we have a clean board. I love a clean board. It looks very beautiful. For $5, you can award a hero point, which look like these things here. There you go. Who got that's in the corner there. So these little red marks there. These hero points can be used to roll with advantage, stave off death, or petition the GM for stuff that is not necessarily in the game. For $10, I will draw from a random deck of plot twists, and you get to pick 3. Well, I'll pick 3. You get to pick 1, and that plot twist immediately comes into play. They have been known to cause a bit of mischief on my table, but, we'll see how that goes. Then we have, of course, I feel like I haven't properly set up my nat 20s.
And it's not quite a clean board. Didn't you say last week?
Just put it right on top of Naomi's face.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, we have our natural 20, which is a $20 donation. The nat 20s, of course, as it says, nat 20 is a nat 20. And for $50, we will boost up an encounter that the group is fighting, or provide them with a special loot drop of a magic item. This can be a homebrew magic item that you design, or it could be an item that you find using, of course, our dear friends over at Archives of Nethes. Lastly, we have the secret menu item. The secret menu item is a $100 donation, which we only talk about at the start of the show. And today's secret menu item is quite simple. I will work with whoever donates to the secret menu item to create an NPC that will be a part of our hero's circus. They will be there for the entire campaign, the entire adventure. Your NPC will be there the entire time. They won't be a part of the major adventuring group, mind you, but they will be there and a part of everything as well. So yes. And for the very, very first time, I will also be removing the secret menu items once per stream restriction. So anyone who does that will get that as a thing. You guys ready to start?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we get this going?
I think really quick though. I don't think we're not a clean slate right away. Didn't you say we all get a hero point?
Nope.
Yes.
Must be imagining
carry
things.
over.
It didn't transfer?
No, you must be imagining things. I feel as though maybe.
Yeah, you remember, right? Team Neil, right? You remember?
No, they switched over to Team Dag because I convinced them to.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. No. No hero points for you. No. That's okay. It just adds an extra layer of risk to the start of our game. All right.
Yeah.
Without any further ado. Our journey starts in a carnival. An old, run-down, and rather unfortunate-looking carnival. The carnival... Wow, that's really bad. I wanted it to be a little discordant, right? I wanted it to be a little discordant. I didn't want it to be like
Someone hit the keyboard with their face.
Yeah. All right.
Run down. I would not let that happen.
Let's try this again, shall we? Let's try this again. Okay. Our adventure begins in an old rundown carnival. Rain pelting down upon the multicolored and striped tents as the wind howls. This is the Celestial Carnival, the place where all of you have called home for quite some time. Each one of you are preparing for that evening's show under the ringmaster known as Mistress Dusklight, a catfolk ringmaster who is known to be quite strict with their staff members. Misha, I presume Rock's face is frozen. And there he goes.
I didn't even notice that.
I was just wondering if he was actually holding it. All right,
Yeah.
well, Rock has dropped out, but still, let us start with
He's back. He's just.
Oh, does he have? Do I just need to shuffle him?
Yeah,
I'll need to shuffle him. There we go. Hi, Rock.
Hi.
There you go.
I don't know what happened. It was just a tiny drop and then went back.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Misha, you
Yeah.
happen to be hard at work. The tents have all been fixed up, and you are preparing and tightening the tightrope for the event later on this evening. Your master, your mentor, a half-elf by the name of Yalvin, is working with you. Let me just put this there. Ta-da! Make sure you get it good and tight. We don't want any accidents, Misha. You've got that end?
Yep, I do so.
All right. Just give it 3 good cranks. Ready? 1. 2. And 3. There it is. He reaches over with what looks to be a mechanical arm, and you hear this music to my ears. Well, all right. At this point, entering in, you can see the ringmaster.
Nice.
A relatively slender catfolk woman with black and gray fur, covered in makeup and wearing the ringmaster's attire, steps into your work tent. As she does so, Misha, what does she see? If you could describe your character, please, and your reaction to the entering ringmaster.
All right. She sees a Nagaji.
Nagaji?
Sorry. Nagaji, female. Roughly pretty young for being Nagaji, and she's dressed up with, a leather apron, and tools, and a bag of tools on the side, and with another tools on the other side with screwdrivers and a crowbar in it, and some goggles for when she works on stuff. When she works stuff with her master, fixing stuff around the circus.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. And reaction when the ringmaster comes in. Hello, Miss.
Mistress.
What can we do for you?
And you can hurry up. We're curtains up in an hour, and I'm barely seeing half of the equipment that we need ready. Are you tired in your old age? Or has perhaps you being able to work has been hindered by the fact that you are just incompetent? Perhaps maybe your apprentice needs some whipping into shape? No, mistress. We'll have everything ready, trust me. Well, you'd better, old man. If this show doesn't go perfectly, then rest assured I'll be laying the blame firmly at your head. She looks over at you and says, clean up. Don't let any of the guests see you covered in oil and grime.
Will do.
She closes the curtain and leaves. The old man says, "Come on then, Misha. I think the next thing we need to prep is the juggling tools. Hand me those knives."
Here you go.
And you watch as he begins to sharpen the knives as he prepares. All right. Next up is the. Okay. Next up, Naomi. You are in a small tent, watching two people performing rather beautifully together. Magicians who are doing their craft. These are your mother and father. Nope, that's not them. There we go.
Mother.
All right, your mother and father. Your mother, the magician, raises her hands and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for wonder and amazement as I, the magnificent, magnificent Marianne Marbleton." There we go. That's what we're going to give a name. The magnificent Marianne and my assistant Marcus. Marianne and Marcus. Done.
Marianne and Marcus Marbleton. I like it.
will perform a feat of absolute danger. Do not try this at home. You watch as your father steps into what looks to be a large glass tank. Now, we've seen this time and time again. A sword being run through a box, and the person within skewered. But we have never been able to witness such an act, and thus I present to you the sword box made of glass.
Ooh. Ooh.
She looks over to you and sort of smiles and winks. And then she says, "Now, do not avert your eyes, no matter how squeamish you may be, as I get ready to insert this sword into the box." She places it, and she looks like she's winding up to get in.
Now he's getting antsy, like, ooh, can't wait.
And suddenly, the curtain of your tent opens. Get on with it! And as that happens, you watch as your mother slips and the box sort of falls over. It doesn't spill any water because it's a sealed container, but it seems as though your father's kind of bashed up against the wall. If you take this long to get your performance underway, we'll be over by the time you're finished. We need to have more than one act here, Martha, and Marcus and Marianne. And if you can't get it together, I'll find myself some new magicians. She looks over at Naomi. What does she see?
Sitting in the chair, she sees a thin, brown-haired, braided lady with a necklace and red dress on. She's got, I think, blue eyes, a little shorter than her mom, perhaps, about 5'4", so pretty short.
And what is your
yes.
reaction to Mistress Dusklight entering your tent?
A bit surprised, just because I was kind of, Naomi was encapsulated in the act because she always enjoys watching her parents do their show. So when the mistress would have came in, she would have jumped, and also when the box fell over, she would have been nervous, like, oh no, what, like, oh, and then kind of go back to just sitting there waiting.
She kind of scowls at Naomi and says, "If I were you, I'd remember the kindness that you've been shown. The extra mouth that you've had to feed all this time mustn't have been easy, but rest assured, that will not stay my anger if you don't perform well today. The punters are expecting a show, and you can at least hand out pamphlets to earn your way."
Of course, mistress.
She sort of huffs and swishes around, her tail kind of flicking the curtain behind her as she leaves.
Then when she leaves, Naomi would go and help her mom get her father out or lift the box up, whatever she seems to be doing.
All right. We then go to Walter. Walter, you are in your tent when the mistress bursts in. Describe your character and your personal fortune-telling tent.
So, the fortune-telling tent is heavy cloth fabric of different, just a myriad of shades of colors. The occasional patch, required or not, sewn into various spots around the surface to give it kind of a used appearance. Hanging from the center of all the posts that hold it up is a brazier that's burning an incense that makes the place feel cloy, sweet, and kind of head foggy. Sitting in shelves around him are various trinkets and eccentricity. He sits before a table that has a small, very glass, very inert crystal ball, as a series of tarot cards that's lying around. The table is covered in a heavy draped cloth. Walter himself is dressed up in various mauves and purples and grays, with a flamboyant hat, a completely useless monocle, and several other pouches and accoutrements that are genuinely empty.
Nice. The mistress enters your tent, striding boldly as she looks at you.
Yeah.
Walter, you can see the future, right? Do I ever find any competent performers for this show?
Well, mistress, I would tell you, as I've told you many times before, the performers in the show are competent. They perform the show night after night, unerringly. But the future does hold.
Unerringly.
Don't you mean?
Well,
Well.
you keep up that silver tongue of yours with those kind of absolute bullshit lies, then we're gonna make a lot of money today.
We shall.
And she walks off. The kind of sting of her calling your predictions fraudulent kind of like burns in your cheek as you watch her leave. We then turn to Arturo's family. Bear with me while I...
Yeah, very large family.
It's size coordinated. Yes.
All right. Jeez. All right. We enter the main circus tent at this point, with the flying Franconi family, with, of course, Arturo there as well. You can see there is, of course, going from the furthest side that way. We have Antonio Franconi, who is Arturo's father, Adelaide Franconi, who is Arturo's mother, oldest brother Alberto, second oldest brother Angelo, and older sister Astrid, who is at the end there. And Arturo, you are here as well. Now, you can see that your mother and father are kind of forming the base of a inverse pyramid. So that is to say, where you would build a pyramid from the ground up with people lining a row and then building up and up until you're at a triangle, they start the bottom with the two of them linking hands, and then you watch as they go outwards with no one in the middle. Now, your job is to spot for them. So you are kind of off to the side, like kind of just, telling them like a little to the left, a little to the right, just kind of helping them adjust. And then on your command, they let go of their hands, and they're only supporting each other on one leg. As they do so, they prepare to perform the actual trick as they no, actually, let me roleplay this. I gotta try and roleplay 5 people. All right. Your father turns around and says, "All right, everyone, family, get ready. Remember, Angelo, you're going to be the top. Okay? Astrid, Alberto, you'll be flipping onto my shoulders, and honey, you'll be helping with the carry. Yes? Yes, dear. All right. Everyone, 3, 2." And as this happens, you watch as your father slips underneath and is now carrying all 3 siblings on his shoulders. You watch as Astrid and Alberto grab Angelo by the left and right arm and then flip him into a front flip. You watch as your mother steps forward and catches his foot. And then as she's about to flip him up onto the top of the pyramid, all of a sudden entering is Mistress Dusklight. "What is this?" As Angelo gets onto the top, there's kind of this wave and this swagger. Almost looks like he's about to fall, but he kind of catches himself as your father clamps his feet down. You actually watch the ground kind of bend and buckle under his weight as he kind of like holds it together. And Mistress Dusklight says, "How many times do I have to tell you that no one is coming to see your acrobatic nonsense? Ever since we took down the trapeze because of health and safety issues, you and your family have been nothing more than circus clowns, and I'll be putting you in the makeup to do for it soon. Unless you can do what I asked you. At this point, your siblings start to climb down and say, Mistress, we're really sorry, but we don't think it's safe. And we don't know if Arturo's ready for that. What does she see as she looks at Arturo?
She sees a brown, and I think it's kind of more of like a darker brown, splotchy catfolk. He's got kind of like some eye makeup, like blue eye makeup, and fancy dress. But if you looked close to it, it probably actually is more like, like it's probably looks like very hand-me-down. Like it's only kind of faux, like good looking. And he tries to carry himself nobly, but probably doesn't pull it off super well.
It's definitely very costume as opposed to like actual. I'm gonna sit over here because I feel like I'm missing out here. All right,
you're kind of hidden behind the...
I am. I didn't plan it because it's just to be anyway. So yes, you kind of looks like costume finery as opposed to actual finery. Yeah. And what is your impression of her as she enters?
Does she come in kind of like from behind?
No. She comes in from the front, like the main.
Okay.
Like you're in the big top, and she's come in through the front.
He kind of just like I put arms at sides and just be like, yeah, they may not think I'm ready, but I am definitely, ready for whatever act you have prepared for me, mistress.
She smiles through the scowl and she says, "You see, he says he's ready, so get it done. Otherwise, I'll have to find myself another family. I mean, what's the point of calling yourselves the Flying Franconi if you don't fly?" And she turns and she leaves. Everyone kind of like looks around. Your siblings kind of look at you. Your mom looks a little disappointed, and your father looks worried as he steps over and says, "You sure about this, son?"
It's dangerous, but how else are we gonna, shine?
You've got your mother's showmanship, tell you that much. He looks at you and says, "I'm proud of you," and takes you over to the cannon. All right. Lastly, out the front in the kind of main area, like, where you would normally see people performing and getting ready to entertain in the parade. That's the word. It's the parade of the circus. You can see that there are a number of people still working and kind of moving things around, preparing for this evening, except for one. Halonot, you're practicing, tuning your lyre and, I presume you're using a lute or a lyre for your instrument. Yep. You're tuning it out in the main thoroughfare. Describe your character and what's going on through your mind as you prepare for this evening's show.
Mainly, don't mess up. I think is the key bit. Double checking to make sure that there isn't a broken string or a frayed string about ready to go, and toning the voice and thinking, hope I don't trip when I'm out there next time. As probably glancing at the crowd thinking, trying to gauge the various ethnicities out there, thinking, should I go for that type of song or this one this time, or probably trying to come up with the few performance permutations.
You hear a voice coming from behind you. "It won't matter who you perform to." "Yes, not at all, not at all. I don't think they're going to come to hear you. To be honest, I think they're barely coming to see you. Not that we could see what is effectively half a person. What do you mean, half a person? Well, I think I know exactly what I mean by half a person. And behind you are two clowns, jesters. Two that is one, the jester named Echo. They are a bit brash and very rude. They play the role of the Puck or the Puccinella. They cause trouble, they make mischief. They disrupt people. And they're trying, as always, to take their act too far by coming and bothering you. So what are you going to sing? Are you going to sing for us? Or are you going to sing for them?
Maybe I could sing to them about you.
Oh, singing about us? Our favorite topic? Yes. But the mistress. Yes, mistress isn't going to like the fact you're not in costume yet.
As you say that, the hair on Halonot will slowly start to change shade.
Very nice. As he does so, it's like, oh, but you forgot the other makeup. And they get like a bucket of mud, and they throw it at you. Make a reflex save.
Ooh. Wow!
Natural 20. You
This is
with
gonna
the
be a good campaign.
with the swiftness of your fingers and your body, you swoop down and you basically stick the top of your loot into the handle of the bucket, and you spin it around as to put the bucket down, as opposed to have it splash on your face. And as soon as this happens, you look up and see both the jesters having disappeared. As this happens, the mistress is behind you. Halonot!
Yes?
I don't pay you to sit around here and play with mud. Get to the tents. We're about to open.
Right away.
She kind of looks at you, and it almost looks as though Echo kind of took off, like having seen her arrive, as you make your way off to the side, and basically, yeah, find yourself a quiet, private little moment. One moment, please, chat, while I deal with something.
I'd like to imagine that the mistress doesn't even know that Echo exists. He's just here.
All right. What is your impression from your encounter with the mistress, Mistress Dusklight?
Is that directed to me?
Yes.
Probably a bit strict, but probably mentally thinking maybe she has to be to keep everyone in line. So possibly understands, but doesn't always like it. As constantly scurries to try and keep on her good side as much as possible.
Fair. Okay. So, as you prepare, the gates open, and a flood of people from the nearby town begin to enter. You can see the large signs that seem to display all of your different acts. Behold, the magical and magnificent Marianne and Marcus, escape artists extraordinaire. Come and watch the flying Franconis as they perform a feat of absolute daring-do. Come seek your fortune from the wonder of Walter. And of course, Harlanot, you on the promenade and parade on your very own tiny apple box stage, along with the clowns and some of the fire breathers and stuff like that, begin to create a bunch of like different like kind of ambiances. Some of them are going ooh ah, some of them are laughing and cheering, others are enjoying concession stands. But each of you, however, as the audience comes in, feel inspired by them. And everyone is going to be the proud owner of a hero point, courtesy of our dear donation from McClover. Thank you, Mac.
Thanks, Mac.
Thank you.
All right, let me just get all these.
You guys are our actual audience. You guys are canon to the story.
I know, you guys are now canon.
Sweet.
You're not just like nebulous forces, beyond the pale. Like, no, you're actual canon
In the
to
game.
story.
Yep.
Yeah.
John's getting fired. Archer's getting fired from a cannon.
All
as
right.
well.
There we go. All right, so everyone's got that. Now, another individual that seems to be dominating the space is a large gnoll strongman. This is Grishak, and he lifts this quite incredible weight as the people arrive, and as he does so, you kind of watch as he then takes like this large hammer and like bangs on this huge bell, invites people to kind of do the same thing. Now you know that Grishak is kind of like the bouncer as well as the strongman of the circus, yeah, that's kind of the majority of what you see throughout. Every now and then you catch glimpses of Echo moving around and sort of stealing people's popcorn and telling them where the shows are, sneaking pamphlets into people's pouches and purses. Basically being a general nuisance? It's hard to say. Backstage, the four of you are gathering together for the big show. Walter, the fortune-telling shop, has been put on close so that everyone can go to the big top. Harlanot, you are part of the chorus, preparing for the evening. Arturo, you are the main event. Misha, you've been asked to prepare the cannon that Arturo is to be fired upon. And Naomi, you've been backstage watching quietly as your parents are currently on stage performing. All right. The scene is yours.
I'll be watching Misha with a hawk eye, just be like, just make sure, not too much gunpowder. I've seen some of your fireworks. I'm not a firework.
No, I'm not the one that puts the powder in there. I'm just here to make sure it works. So don't blame me with the gunpowder, okay? My master does not allow me to, or should I? My mentor does not let me deal with the powder as much. I am not trained that much in that yet. So I'm just here to make sure that the thing goes up and down, and the mechanism lights, so the powder gets lit.
Rock.
Don't blame me. What?
Rock. Are you telling him this to try and deceive him, or because I just said that you're the one in charge of setting up the cannon?
Oh.
That's how we started
I'm
this.
sorry.
That's okay. I figured you were trying to make him feel easy, but no, it's all you. There's no one else here. You're prepping the cannon. It's your job.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe this is enough gunpowder.
I'm so barreling.
My bad. I
That being said, this is probably one of the first times you've actually done this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Great, that feels
I'm
like
sorry.
giving more confidence.
I was trying to role play and I totally forgot I was setting up the whole thing. My bad. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure there's enough gunpowder in there, and make sure that the everything is working properly. All right.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, Doug. I'm sorry.
All right. You prep for the event, and Naomi, your parents are just finishing their act as Mistress Dusklight steps out to the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people and creatures of all ages, welcome to the Celestial Carnival. I hope you have been enjoying yourselves, but everything you've experienced is nothing but an appetizer to one of the greatest acts that we have here at the show. She cracks her whip, and every time she cracks it, almost like a layer of confetti paper falls off it and creates this kind of like little rainbow-colored confetti burst as she whips it down. You see, unfortunately, there has been a terrible accident. Our trapeze has failed, and we cannot in due course provide you with the flying Franconi's aerial acrobatics. You hear a whole bunch of crowd people going, boo! Oh, you know, like lots of disappointed, lots of very disappointed cries and the like. As she says, but fear not, for I have something even more special for you. A once-in-a-lifetime show. Bring out the cannon. You suddenly hear the drum roll as the cannon is wheeled out. Maisha, you were asked to wield out the cannon. Presumably you do so?
Wheel it out? Yeah.
All right. You hear people applaud as you're dragging it out, and the cannon.
There's people helping me, right? Because it's probably pretty big.
Nope. You can ask for help.
No?
Which any of the people backstage can help if they'd like.
Hey, I need some help. I need help moving this.
Walter will walk out and assist.
Sure, Walter, you're out there, and
I'll help you.
yep, you grab onto the other side, and you're kind of pushing it out. Now, as you make your way outwards, Mistress Dusklight says, and now introducing, for the debut performance, the youngest member of the Franconi family, Arturo Franconi. A drum roll begins.
Oh, like an execution drum roll. Oh, okay. Yeah, so instead I'll just normally walk out. I was gonna like flip out onto this field, but yeah, with this kind of ambiance, I'll just walk out and then bow to the audience.
As you walk out, someone reaches up and grabs you by the shoulder.
I turn to look at them.
It is your brother Angelo. Hey kid, listen. I don't think you should do this. I know that you're excited to prove yourself, and look, as a member of the Franconi, you will get that opportunity, but I just have a bad feeling about this. Let me do this one for you.
Are you sure? I mean, I'm pretty sure we'd get in really big trouble for switching it up like that.
I'll take care of Mistress Dusklight. Now, you know that Angelo is the most athletic of your siblings, whereas Astrid is probably the most like agile and Alberto is very, very smart and comes up with really, really good like theoretical tricks and stuff like that. You know that 90% of like the really high dangerous maneuvers are done by Angelo. And like, you know, that's why he was kind of like flipped onto the top, because that's the most acrobatic position stuff. So he's commonly the one who does all these sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'll look into his eyes and see that, you know, he is genuinely concerned. And I'll just like put my hand on my chest and be like, land on your feet. And then I'll, you know.
We
let him
always
go
do.
on.
And he reaches up and he grabs you by the arm and steps outwards. As he does so, there is this kind of angry, very angry look on Mistress Dusklight's face as Angelo steps out. There's kind of a murmur. You know, you can kind of tell that a few people are aware of who Angelo is, and so they're like, oh, that's not the youngest. That's Angelo. And she quickly circles back around and says, apparently there's been a change. Presenting, of course, Angelo. And there's a new cheer. There is this loud roar from the crowd as people are just excited to see Angelo. Now,
I have a quick question.
yes.
So, how far away would Arturo and Angelo be from where Naomi is watching in the back? Because she can still kind of see the stage from where she is.
Not very far. Probably about maybe
So,
maybe 40, 50 foot.
40? Okay. So if they were 30 feet, she was going to do something, but yeah.
Sure. Angelo
No
steps
problem.
out, raises a hand, greets the audience before climbing into the cannon. At this point, you can see Echo arrive with a torch. He's got his, this is the happy face Echo. Neil's a little quiet. What? That's literally a first.
Me? Okay.
All right.
Try turning me up.
Let me know. I'll turn everyone up a little bit more. There you go.
Okay.
Say something, Neil?
How's that? Everything
Yeah.
good?
Okay, cool. Yeah, that
Hear me?
looks fine.
Okay.
Okay. Angelo gets into the cannon. There's a hushed silence over the crowd. Echo waves the flame in the air and then places it on the cannon's fuse.
Naomi kind of puts her hands together to begin kind of praying that everything works out.
As it hisses down, everyone watches, bated breath. Suddenly, the cannon fires, and Angelo is loosed a huge flare of smoke as he rises higher and higher up towards the actual big top roof. Was the fire too big? You can't see Angelo through the smoke. A small stream of smoke penetrates the cloud cover. And as it does so, you see a hand reach up and grab onto a platform. As the smoke clears, holding on, Angelo pulls himself up and onto the trapeze platform. You can see that his cape is kind of singed and sort of burnt off a little bit, as are his shoes. He stands and he proudly waves. There is a huge cheer as he emerges victorious, and everyone applauds. But Arturo, you sense that something's wrong. He doesn't climb down. He stands there and simply holds his position. You then notice his boots. Both of his boots have been burnt off. And you can see most of the fur at his feet has also been burnt as well.
I'll run out underneath the platform that he was standing on. I'll probably do it in like a flourishy way, not a panicky way, you know, like make it look like an act. And then I'll like pull my arms out like you know, to like catch him, like make a show of it.
He'll look at you and smile and will leap from the top. It's quite a height, and this in itself is also a trick. And there is this kind of gasp from the audience as he falls. Cut to a few hours later. You are all in the work tent. This is kind of where you would eat. This is where you would kind of like gather. And you and the rest of the carnival are here with the exception of the ringmaster. There is a grimness in the air. Angelo is currently seeing what is effectively one of the showrunners here. A man by the name of Darius. No, wait, no, it's not Darius. One moment. It is a man by the name of... Haha. It's not haha. Sorry, everything is taking a while to load. I had his name written down, but then I put it in my OBS, and it converted the name back to the name of the token, and I was like, God damn it.
Hey, well, that happens.
Damn technology.
All right. Anyway, he is taken to go see the doctor, a beloved individual who is also the showrunner. He runs the ticket booth. He, you know, sort of, does like customer service. He takes care of the guests and the like. His name is... Here we go. His name is Myron.
Myron.
Yes. His name is Myron. Myron Thunder Stendel.
Oops, sorry. Computer issues. I don't know if I'm gonna get that back on.
No, that's okay. That's okay. All right. So yes, you are here. It is grim. It is kind of dapper. Well, that could have gone worse. You hear the voice coming from a familiar face. A person playfully called the Professor. He tends to bark orders and make sure that everyone is kind of looked after. Kind of like making sure that everything, runs on time, as it were. An elderly gentleman. There we go. An elderly gentleman. But who means well, despite his rather harsh tones. But sitting around here moping about it isn't going to solve anything. We've seen Angelo shave off a lot more worse injuries. He looks over at Arturo and kind of, gives you a knowing look.
Yeah. I mean, we've all fallen without a net before, and granted, this is a burn, but yeah, shouldn't be too different, hopefully.
Naomi kind of perks up and just says, was it a wrong type of gunpowder? I mean, usually they use the kind that doesn't burn at all, right? It's just
You're whispering, by the way, Neil.
I know Naomi's kind of shyish, but
Do you? Well, in which case, pull your mic in closer. Yeah,
sorry. How's that?
Yeah, being shy is one thing,
bad.
but we need to like also be able to pick you up. Stage whisper.
My bad. My mic. I don't like my mic being on screen, but I gotcha. I mean, I could turn myself up too, maybe, but yeah.
No, it's just if you are going to talk in a hushed tone, it needs to pick you up.
Gotcha.
That's all. Yeah.
Naomi kind of just says, I mean, was it the amount of gunpowder wrong? I mean, you've done this before. It didn't happen. Nothing has happened like this before, right?
Maisha.
I swear I put the right amount. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he sat in the cannon wrong. That could be a thing. But he's done this since he walked, I think. So I don't know.
He sat in the cannon wrong. Is that all you've got to say for yourself? This is Grishak, the strong man. All I'm hearing is a bunch of excuses. The trick failed. Maybe the Fanconis aren't all they cracked up to be. Or maybe Maisha decided to get rid of some of the competition. Maybe find herself a lovely little performing gig in the middle, eh? Big fireworks, weren't they?
I have no desire to be on that stage. My job is only to make sure things run good. And sometimes there's accidents. And I can't control that. Sometimes.
You hear that, fellas? The person in charge of our safety gear can't help accidents. Oh, that's right good, innit?
I'll step in between Maisha and I actually already forgot his name.
Grishak.
Grishak. And I'll be like, listen, muscle brain. Maisha at least has more talent than you do. All you can do is just lift heavy things and look intimidating.
He
She's
leans
a part
down
of the
to the
family just as
table.
anyone else.
He leans down to the table and picks up a fork. He puts it into his mouth. You hear this crunching, straining sound, and he spits out a knot.
Well, there's a trick you could do. Perhaps you could earn more than just petty thievery.
Oh man, I should pay you when I need to bend metal for a gadget next time.
He says, have your jokes. After all, these will be the last ones that you'll get a laugh out of when the flying Falconi become nothing more than an old page at the back of the obituaries.
That won't be happening
please.
anytime soon.
Not here.
He pulls himself away. Yeah, Grishak's always been a bit headstrong, and yeah, he's always been a bit of a bully. But that is Grishak.
Are you okay, Arturo?
I'm fine. I'm a little worked up.
That's good.
You know I didn't do it on purpose, right?
No, of course. You would never do anything on purpose.
Yeah, your family. Like, I think it's ludicrous to even suggest that.
That was an impressive amount of gunpowder, though. Was it? I think it was you were sizing up for Arturo, wasn't it? Because Arturo, you were the one to be fired, right?
I mean, I don't know the mechanics of how that kind of stuff works, but yeah, maybe that could have been a factor.
That could be a thing. I gotta probably do some.
While the others are postulating on what might have gone wrong, Holonauts, what are you doing?
probably sitting at the back, taking notes of what happened, thinking, I wonder if I can add that to the song of the Facones performance to pull in a bigger crowd for next time. Thinking, maybe if I beef them up, it'll help alleviate some of the tension.
All right, make a perform check.
You should have said that. Performance check.
Yeah, holy crap.
Brilliant. All right, cutting through the tension. Music begins to play from Harlanot. It is somewhat soothing and appropriate to the tone. As this happens, the doors swing. Oh, sorry, the curtain swings open, and Myron enters. Well, everyone, I know that you're eager to find out what has happened, but I'll need to speak with Arturo and his family alone for the time being. If you would come with me, as he gestures towards you.
Yes, sir.
What happens next stays with Arturo for the rest of his life. He is told that the accident has been a lot worse than it appeared. You see, catfolk have very sensitive pads on their feet. This allows them for their very dexterous touch that allows them to be able to balance and coordinate well. With their feet having been so terribly burnt, Angelo would be able to walk and would be able to do things with his life, but the one thing he wouldn't be able to do again would be to perform. This shakes your family. Your sister is begging, pleading for something to be done. Asked if they can go see a healer, go see a cleric. Alberto is contemplating possible solutions. Maybe they can make a special harness for his legs to support where the arches are. But you can already tell from the look in your parents' eyes that this is the reality. Angelo looks from his bed, his legs both bound in bandages, and says, "Look, we all get this way. We all find ourselves at that point in time where, you know, that last show. It's something we don't like talking about, but it's always there. And I think for my final performance, it was quite explosive. Don't you?" He looks at Arturo. You can see his lip kind of trembling as he says so. But then it straightens up.
Well, it pleased the audience, that's for sure. But sometimes what the audience doesn't know is what hurts more.
Well, isn't that just what we are? Performers to help take away from the humdrum of their lives, to show them something truly wonderful. And of course, just because I'll be taking the bench from now on doesn't mean I won't be helping the family. I can make posters, and I can, go into town with some of the clowns and performers, and tell folks about the show. And of course, I'm sure in time, Arturo, you can most certainly find yourself at the top of the pyramid.
I'll certainly train for it. But, yeah, I just hope that...
Not likely.
I heard some things and it kind of got to me a little bit.
Arturo, listen. You must never let other people determine your value. Never let anyone tell you what is too high or what is too far. Only then can you really be pushing yourself to the point where even a grounded tabaxi can fly.
Well, hopefully, you're not gonna have to fly in that same way ever again.
He takes your words and smiles and says, thanks. But
And
I'd like to
also
be...
thank you for not having me go in that cannon.
He says, of course, what are big brothers for? But you must never blame yourself for what happened to me. This was my choice. And regardless of what came about from it, I don't regret it for a minute. All right, we should let him rest, Myron says. Come. And he escorts your family out. Walter.
Yes.
You are in the you know, kind of like the waiting room, waiting to hear news on what has happened and you know, figure out what's you know, like figure out what's happening with the family and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When you overhear Mistress Darklight, you can kind of hear her muttering and mumbling over in her tent, but that's about it.
I will kind of pull out a hand of tarot cards from one of my packs, just flipping through the cards, inspecting them, making sure they're, and I'll wander in the direction of her tent to get closer.
As you do so, you begin to overhear. This was a disaster. Whose fault is this? Yavin. Yavin was supposed to be preparing for the cannon, and he was nowhere to be seen. He let that incompetent fool Masha deal with the cannons. I swear, I'm going to throw her out in her ear. Ever since she came here, she's been nothing but a burden. Oh, come now, it's not really that bad. Burden's a bit excessive. She has proven herself useful on more than one occasion. Then what? I'm going to send the I'm going to send the Franconi out without their star attractor? No. No, we're going to have to kick them to the curb. Be done with their family once and for all. I'm sorry, but acrobats who do not have a star flyer has no place in my circus. I hear that there's a few other acts beginning to look for work, and perhaps when we are in Absalom next, we'll find our new replacements. Well, if that's what you desire, mistress, but really, we should see this through till Angelo's recovery. What, and just have them bleed us out even more than they have? No. They paid for their incompetence. I did what I could. I did my checks. I pushed and greased the wheels. No. Yavin and the Franconis will be going down for this. Not me and not the circus. I can see it in the tabloids already. No, I'm going to get ahead of this. Let the Pathfinders know what truly happened here. All right, as you wish. But don't say we didn't warn you. And you hear the sounds of footsteps coming towards you, Walter.
I kind of continue as if I continue my walking past. As I hear them walking towards me, I'll just start walking away casually.
The first person to walk out of the tent is Echo. echoes, however many there are. There are 3 actually, right here. And all the 3 harlequins kind of look in your direction, but see you're just walking past. And they don't think anything of it, and they keep walking. That night. Oh yeah, go on.
Tuck away my tarot cards and head back to the communal tent.
All right. That night is a difficult night for everyone. I'm gonna say that that most people by this stage that you return Walter have like kind of dissipated and sort of gone to bed. They've heard about what's happened to Angelo, and the families have been consoled. Naomi, your parents are chatting with the Finucci family, and you know, like it's a very supportive group. But everyone is tired, and you know, like again, you've all, in addition to everything that has happened, you have all done an amazing job on the show, and the only people who are left kind of at the end are the 5 of you. You can also see the professor is still talking to Myron nearby, but you know they're having their own conversation. Walter, you arrive.
I walk into the tent and I look around for when I see the group of them sitting together, I'll make my way over to where the table is and sit down, pull up a chair and sit down. I lean forward in a hushed voice, say, I heard a disturbing conversation. It appears the mistress intends to kick out the whole lot of you. Well, the Falcones.
Do it.
I do not believe this is in good taste or in good tact, but that has never been her strong point at any point.
They can't do that. They're family.
It was her idea to change the act.
This is true. She is the ringmaster. That is the unfortunate part of this business. But if we can get enough of the other people around to agree with us or to contradict the ringmaster, we may actually be able to do something. But I figure you should hear it from one of us before you hear it from her.
I don't even know if I should tell my family. I mean, I probably should, but they're not in good shape already after obviously the news that we received.
Yes, I haven't had a chance to go and check on him yet, but I do intend to before the evening's out. How is he holding up? Have you not gone and checked on your brother?
I have. It's not good.
As I figured.
And we're pretending to be in good spirits about it, but we're already seeing the writing on the wall. I think we need to either come up with something quick, or I think we'll be obsolete.
Well, I hate being the bearer of bad news, but there you have it. I shall now go look upon your brother to see how he's faring. Sleep well. And I get up and head over towards the hospital tent.
Yeah, we will put her arm on Arturo and just say everything will be okay. I mean, I don't know how much I can help. I'm just a living, but if you need anything, just let me know, okay?
Kind of. Wait, are we at like tables? Sitting at
Yeah,
tables,
they're
or
like
are we,
these long
okay.
benches kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of clench my fist and like set it hard down on a table, kind of pound it a little bit. But then
He kind of jumps back, just like
she's like, no, I'm not. It's not you. I'm just upset that this is happening, and I haven't even had my debut.
I understand.
Has I've been thinking, and I don't want to think bad about the mistress, but has she been threatening your family for a while to kicking you out?
She would threaten, but in the sense of motivation. At least that's how I took it. But
Mhm.
if behind closed doors she's saying these things, then she must actually feel that way. Which
Do you? Mhm. Do you? I don't want to feel bad about the mistress, but do you think she would sabotage the cannon to have a real point of kicking you guys out?
well, I don't know if she would sabotage her own show, but I feel like a simple accident could still be a good excuse. And if what Walter said is true, then you also might be on trouble, Maisha, which I'm worried about that as well.
With an air of concern and heavy hearts, you all recede for the night. You go and rest and recover. Harlanot,
Before, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
what would you like to do before?
I was gonna say before heading off the bed, Naomi was actually going to go find a secluded spot where she thinks nobody would be able to find her.
And
She's going to manifest her friend Callisto.
sure, we'll come to that in a moment. Harlanot, as you are making your way back to your tent, you hear the all too annoyingly familiar jingle of a couple of bells.
I sigh.
Oh, come now, don't be like that. We're your friends. Yes, and friends look out for friends, don't they? Oh, yes, indeed they do.
I'll just give them a one raised eyebrow look. Very
Oh, don't be.
skeptical.
Oh, don't be skeptical. We're here to help. We are always here to help. For example, we know a secret. And I'm sure you know the secret too. Yes, the fortune teller sees all. Those tarot cards whisper to him. They do, they do.
Harnott will just glance around to see if anyone else is close by.
No one is close by.
Really?
Mm.
That's
Oh, yes. No, we know many things. We hear many things. See many things. We hear the lizard talk of betrayal. So scary. Yes, the mistress planning sabotage? Say it's not so. You watch as they're very dramatically moving around you. But it does bring a question, does it not? Yes, yes, indeed it does. It does bring a question. The old ringmaster, fell gravely ill, he did. Gravely ill, yes, I remember. So suddenly the onset, 1 minute so fervently filled with life, the next minute, and he watches the other one seems to be like holding up like a mime, hanging themselves and dangling from like no rope. Oh, such a terrible waste. Still, it was a good thing the mistress was put in charge shortly after. Yes, yes, a good thing indeed. Mysteries, secrets, dangers abound. But don't worry. We look after our friends, don't we? Yes, we do. Our friends. Like you. And they both stare at you.
I'll I'll probably take a step back and think. And you throw buckets at friends?
Buckets and quips and lines and daggers, all are the same. Among friends, of course.
Yes, well, maybe that's why you only like each other's company.
Well, it is one way to guarantee that we have an intelligent conversation. They both start giggling to each other.
Yes, that's what you tell yourselves. And I'll try to slowly ignore them and walk away.
As you do so, they both watch you leave, and you bump into one as you kind of like are backing up. This one's got like an angry kind of face, and as he leans down, he says, "Whatever you do, don't run. They chase you when you run." And then, as you kind of pull away from that third one, they all three stare at you. Before you can watch the flickering lanterns of the oil lamp lights in the carnival flicker dark, flicker light, flicker dark, and they disappear. Meanwhile, by the way, welcome to the group. By the way, just
It was nice having a bard for the brief period we had him. It was very nice.
It's fine. I was trying to do a spooky sign behind them, trying to make them turn.
Oh, I love this. All right. So, Naomi, you find yourself in a small, secluded space. It's just a short way away from the tents themselves, and you focus your energies. And eventually you summon forth what appears to be an angelic figure. This is your summoned companion, whose name escapes me.
Callisto.
Callisto. All right, as he appears, large radiant wings glow downwards, and he flaps to the garden.
Oh, Callisto, it's good, so good to see you.
My love, it has been far too long. You look more resplendent every time I gaze upon you, and your sapphire eyes deep as even the most beautiful oceans.
You're always a charmer.
But tell me, I see sadness in your eyes. What vexes you, my love?
There's trouble in the circus. Mistress has been ever so mean. Just overworking us.
She is hard, and harder still upon those who have given so much to this carnival.
I just wish there was something I could do for them to help them out.
Well, bear in mind that sometimes in life we want to help those that may seem just out of reach. But all we can do is what we must. I'm sure that your friends and family know that the difficult times ahead are only but fleeting. But come, let me perhaps distract you and take your mind away from this place.
Callisto.
I'd like to point out to the audience that I warned Neil at character creation that if you want to make a romantic character with an NPC,
I mainly just wanted to talk to him. You're the one who started.
No. I have here in my notes, I have a romantic relationship with my Eidolon because that's not weird. And I said, you are aware I'm playing the Eidolon? You're like, yeah, Michael, I know that you're doing that. And here we are. This is going to be your next 40 episodes of your major character feature. So this is what we're doing,
ready?
Neil. Get used to it.
Oh yeah.
Bow, bow.
See, even the audience remembers.
Yeah.
You spend the night in a passionate but romantic embrace. Not a sexual one, just like he takes you
Kinda
for a
dancing,
walk.
so,
He kind of tells you a lot about the celestial realms. He asks you how your day is, and you basically find yourself on a small bench, having a small sleep on his shoulders, weary from all of the excitement of the day, and he just sits there awake, with one wing wrapped around you, watching you as you sleep, and smiling softly and gently.
Hey,
It is only the morning light and the soft, cold dew that awaken you the next day on the bench, but your companion is nowhere to be seen.
probably unmanifested in my sleep, but yes, I would get back up and head home before, probably either before my parents wake up or because they might be worried about where I am. But yeah, I'll head back home.
All right. The next morning, you arrive to the scene of what is effectively a large congregation of rather upset individuals. What do you mean this is the new way? We can't work this way. This is impossible. The mistress stands before a crowd. I know that it might seem difficult, but rest assured that this is for the good of the carnival. The Franconi family have been letting down revenue, and we need a new main act. And that is all I am saying. We are holding auditions for the new center stage performers. What happens to the Franconi family beyond that is no one else's concern. All of you are gathered here for this as well. Except
So
for
she's saying this
Misha.
as if the Franconi is not people like directly being talked to.
Oh, they are. And
Yeah.
everyone knows that. Everyone knows this is the case. Misha, you are not there, however. And I will tell you where you are in a minute.
Okay.
Does anyone say anything? There's just this waller of like...
You mean to tell me you're not going to wait us at least let the circus get to a major population center before you start holding auditions? We're in the middle of almost nowhere. Do you expect to replace a main act with local talent?
Nowhere
Least
is
you can
not
do is keep-
nowhere. We're on the Isle of Kortos, darling. There are always people here. The small town nearby, I'm sure, has plenty of aspiring performers ready to embrace and suckle at the bosom of this carnival's profits.
You can't just get rid of the whole family.
I never said I was getting rid of the whole family, just removing them from the playbill. Much like yourself, Naomi, I'm sure they'll find some measure of use, perhaps cleaning up after the animals.
We can still be useful in some sort of an act. I have been practicing one of my own.
Oh, really? You've been practicing all on your own? And what about the other members of your family?
They're still talented. They can still do things. It's
The other members of your family kind of look towards you, and they're sort of they're not shaking their heads, telling you not to say anything, but you can tell that they're talking back to the ringmaster isn't what you do if you are circus folk, right? And that's kind of what you feel from your family is like they're not, they've been taught like because you're the youngest, you haven't been like kind of.
yeah.
You haven't done your debut, stuff
I
like
haven't
that.
broken in.
Yeah. So they're kind of like you can see that they're reluctant.
I kind of give them a look in return, like kind of like a huffy, like I understand, but at the same time, it's just bullshit kind of look.
Alberto looks to you and says, "Listen, brother. Most of our acts we perform as a group, as a family. Even with one person down, that changes everything. The choreographies, the performances, it's not the same. I mean, Mom and Dad, sure, they might be fine, but we've only ever worked as the siblings together. Without Angelo, we don't have our core. And Without that,
Well, if we're one member down, and then we add me to the roster, then we have just as many members as we had before.
and then Astrid says it. The words you did not want to hear. But you're not Angelo, Arturo.
I understand that.
At this point, there's a crack of the whip. Enough! I was not asking opinions or fielding requests or trying to have people beg and plead for me to let some crippled acrobat serve as one of this show's star runners. I am seeking new talent. If you are not that talent, then get out of the way. Yes, that's what I thought. And she sort of huffs offwards and leaves.
I kind of want to grab my new training implement.
At this point, Myron approaches. All right, everyone, listen. I know that the news is quite dire, but don't lose hope. Remember, we're a family. The circus itself, we're always here for each other. And it is terrible what has happened to Angelo, but rest assured, we are not built upon the back of one star performer. You are all stars in my eyes. And rest assured, each and every one of you will have a chance to shine. And as he says this, we cut to Misha. Misha, you are there with your mentor. Yalvin seems to be packing his belongings. Oh, Misha, it's good to see you. Come in. I've wanted to talk to you this morning.
Yeah. What did you want to talk about?
Well, I know what happened.
Or maybe I know what you want to talk about.
I understand. Listen, about yesterday, I know you did the right thing. I know you followed all of the instructions I gave you, as you always did. You've always been good that way. Not sure what went wrong, but I told the headmistress I told the Mistress Dusklight that we should have tested more, that we should have, I don't know, had some practices. But wishes and stars can't bring back accidents that have happened, and responsibilities need to be taken. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
When
As I look down. Yep.
Good, excellent. In which case, I hope you understand what is happening next.
No,
And,
I
oh yeah, go on.
what happens next?
Mistress Dusklight enters. All right, you old codger. Have you said your goodbyes?
What?
Not quite yet, Miss. As you look over, he has this resigned look in his eyes. I'm getting too old for this, Misha. If cannon malfunctioned, and if the gunpowder was responsible for crippling poor Angelo, then it was by my negligence. Maybe just these old bones have finally done everything that they needed to here. So I'll be moving on.
That's when I go to the mistress and go him, and he's, no, I still need him. I still need a little bit more training. Don't let him leave.
Well, sadly, Misha, this circus doesn't revolve around what you need. I need someone who can do their job competently. And if you're not that person, then you can leave as well. You watch as Yalvin looks at you and he raises his prosthetic arm and shakes it, gesturing, no, don't.
It's not fair. I still need him. I still need a little bit more training. That's
Masha,
probably
you don't need me. My child, you've already learned everything I've had to teach you. You've always been so curious, even at a young age, and, well, quite frankly, you've been a few steps ahead of me for quite some time now. I mean, maybe back in my prime I could have taught you a thing or two, but I'm just a old rickety man now with bits and pieces that are still just falling off me. But, don't you worry. Don't you worry.
That's when I get off my knees and go to him and just give him a big hug. I don't want you to leave. Please don't leave me. This is not fair.
He
I don't.
He takes a moment, and then you can feel his mechanical arms around you, as he holds you tight. He says, "I'm not going anywhere. Well, I mean, I'm going somewhere, but I'm not really going anywhere. I'll always be here. In the wood, in the clockwork mechanisms. Every time you build something, that's a little of me there."
Where are you gonna? Where are you going? Where are you gonna live?
Oh, I don't know, and don't worry about this, old man. I've got a few friends that I've made over my years here at the circus. They'll keep me over in Absalom for a time, at least until I sort myself out. I'll be sure to write you. See how you are. I hope you'll return the same.
I will.
He hands you his toolkit, puts it in your hand, and gives you his apron.
I grab them.
All right. Enough of this sappy nonsense. The mistress Dusk grabs the wheelchair and starts to wheel him out. He has his belongings in his lap, and he kind of looks at you as he sort of smiles and is wheeled away from the circus.
I just, when he I probably, yeah, I stand where I am for a while, just, contemplating, can I do this without him? Am I able? He's trained me. Has he trained me enough to do this? And just stare out in the distance, where he went. Yeah.
As you do so, you lean on the nearby table, which rocks slightly, and you hear a jangling sound like a metal ball as it rolls towards you. You look to your side, and you can see this multicolored ball that sort of places itself in your hands, and you remember the first time you met Yalvin. When you were a small child, afraid, confused, didn't speak Taldan. And this strange old man gave you this bauble and showed you how it worked, made you feel safe, taught you for years how to innovate, how to build. Yep.
I turn. I don't know how it actually works, but I make it work. I do whatever twist or.
Oh, it's like
whatever,
one of those
you know.
it's one of those like Zen balls, you know what I mean? Like you jangle it and it has this very beautiful sound to it.
Oh, okay. Then I do that. But still like staring out into the distance. It calms me down a little bit.
All right. To the sounds of the bell, Harlanot and Walter, the two of you are approached by two individuals. The professor and Myron. Walter,
Yes,
Harlanot, can we have a quick word, please?
certainly. Would my tent be? My tent is available if you wish to be private.
Yes, that'll be most acceptable. The professor will agree.
I will lead them to my tent.
As you do so, they close the curtain behind you. This has gone too far. She's gone mad with power, and that's not good for anyone. I'm afraid I have to agree. I think all of the events that have happened recently have brought everything to a head, and I'm worried. Harlanot and Walter, you two here have been here as part of this circus almost as long as the two of us have. How do you feel?
This events that have occurred are absolutely absurd. She has definitely stepped way beyond what should be tolerated. At least that's how I feel.
I presume I'll comment saying her personality seems to have changed quite a bit recently. This is, I feel like, the latest in a long line that several have been noticing as she's stepped up.
I would agree. If the old ringmaster was here, he'd know what to do. It's difficult. Yes, well, maybe that's what we need. What? A new ringmaster.
If you're looking to overthrow the current one, you should be.
No, I don't think we should. I definitely don't think we should be overthrowing anyone. I mean, look, there are as many people who love love Mistress Dustlight as much as anyone else. I mean, half of these people are family. We can't break that apart. That would be wrong. I mean, it would be doing exactly what she did, and what's to say that we wouldn't end up in the exact same position later on down the road. I don't wish to kick this problem further down for other people to deal with.
Yeah, I agree with that. But what are you proposing then?
Yes, what are you proposing?
Because it sounded an awful lot, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, Harlanot, you're a wonder seeker, aren't you?
Yes.
I've always liked that name. Wonder Seeker. Maybe we don't need to overthrow Mistress Dusklight. Maybe we should create our own circus. A circus of wayward wonders.
The monetary contribution to starting a circus is not insignificant.
Well, fortunately, one of us has spent a lot of time saving quite a decent amount. I would not be adverse to providing the capital to do this. I'm sure we can get enough people to pitch in, but who would we ask to come? Who would go?
I think a fair number of people currently present would consider leaving. We could
The
potentially
feelings of many would sway them to seriously consider it,
Well,
especially now.
well, if anyone could sway their feelings, Harlanot, I know it's you. You are loved by many in this circus. Would you and Walter back our idea?
I spread the tarot cards across the table. I just sort of do a quick reading.
Motherfucker. All right. Ask your question.
As they're talking to Harlanot, I simply ask the question. What is the people that are proposing this separation? What is their goal?
What is their what? Sorry.
I'm trying to find out the truthfulness of what is being proposed.
What do you mean? Like, they definitely want to do this.
Okay, that's basically what I was trying to confirm.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to ask whether or not it'll be successful. You don't want to ask like.
Oh.
I mean, it's a fortune telling, not a sense motive, mate.
Then I will ask. I will ask if it would be if fortune awaits us or misfortune awaits us.
If fortune awaits, so like fortune is in wealth or fortune is in luck.
Fortune as in luck, because we'll need some to avoid everything that's coming.
Okay. All right, bear with me.
And while we're waiting for you, Michael, I think Naomi would bring up to Arturo that we should go find Maisha. We should go find Maisha and let her know about what's happening.
Yeah. I have a feeling that yeah, that things are gonna be rough.
All right, pick a number between 1 to 9, please, Walter.
7.
Number 7.
All right, interesting.
Uh-oh.
Your card that you draw is the Liar.
Oh no.
It represents destructive, treacherous love. The Lamia signals obsession, star-crossed lovers, or an unrequited desire. So you get the impression that the road ahead is going to be a difficult one. The idea of betrayal of this carnival will definitely come into play. You will separate people who love each other. There will definitely be that sense.
So as they continue their conversation, I finish the reading. I put the deck away, and as their conversation peters out, I look up and go, the road of what you're proposing is not smooth. There will be turbulence, there will be broken hearts, and there will be betrayal ahead of us. With that in mind, is this the course you still choose?
Myron says, I want to create a better place. A better circus. Not just for money and the performance, but a better place to be. And I don't know if this is that place anymore.
I would certainly agree with that. I do not believe this is the right place for someone to consider it home or safe anymore. And I would be lying if I had not considered in light of recent events, my own departure. So yes, I will help in your endeavor.
It does sound like something that would be a bit of a change. Maybe this place is becoming a bit rote with the same strict performances all the time. Bit of variety might just be the spice that we all need.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, both of you. It does mean a lot to have your support. Then we should work quickly. Quietly. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of session 1 of the Extinction Curse. Our heroes. Now, just as a bit of an epilogue to our prequel, so this is actually a prequel to the actual Extinction Curse. So this isn't actually in the adventure path, but Myron will go and start collecting people. Of course, everyone in our party is a member of the circus who is going to be there, and for the better part of 6 months, you build up your circus, your own acts, your own people there, and there are some new bloods, new faces. And there was, of course, some very, very harsh feelings here and there from what had happened. Harlanot, despite everything, who's rattling around? Oh, that's me. That's my cat.
Oh. I was confused by that too. I'm like, what the
No.
heck is that sound?
I left my phone in the other room because I couldn't hear anything, and he's kneading into the beanbags, which he shouldn't be.
Jumped
Hang
off the table.
I like how immediately.
At least you know where the
Oh,
cat
no, he
is.
just jumped off the table when you heard that.
That was priceless.
Cats, they always steal the show.
God damn it! Freaking yeah. There you go. Yeah. Oh wait, it's me.
See, maybe if I timed it for when I was going to do the ghostly sound with echo, that'd been perfect timing. With
That's
stealing
true, that's
sound in the back.
Okay, so let's start with Echo. Echo, for very obvious reasons, you do not invite to the carnival, nor do you invite Grishik. They seem to embody more of Mistress Dusklight's direction rather than your own new direction. The Franconi family want to go with you. However, one of the big debacles that happens is that they are under contract, and when this thing happens, she, Mistress Dusklight, refuses to break their contract. She would much rather see them shoveling animal dung than to run off and be successful in another circus. You, Arturo, however, are not held to that contract. Your family does insist that you leave, given the opportunity, because you have not had your debut, you are not contractually obligated, and you go with their blessing. They say that they will run out their contract, and once it's done, they will likely join you. But by that stage, they do not want to simply have you as part of the Franconi family. They want to be a supporting act for you, the amazing Arturo. Maisha, your skills are needed more than ever. Angered at the fact that that she let go of her repair person, and then you've gone off. Mistress Dusklight is especially vitreous towards you in regards to your departure.
Makes sense.
And as far as Naomi goes, Naomi, your parents do not want to leave, and they will encourage you to not leave as well. But at the same time, the feelings of wanting to be a part of the other side of things, the new things. You want to show your parents that there is a better life that you can give to them, that you can provide to them through this new circus. What that looks like, you don't even know, but they are just afraid, and you can tell that. They're afraid that if they left everything now, that they would lose everything they've built. But you have not built anything here. And that is the epilogue, or the prologue for our Extinction Curse series.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're
Yeah.
off.
Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I was initially confused when you said the name of the circus. I'm like, I thought it was the Circus of the Wayward Wonders. And then when you pointed that out later, I'm like, I just kind of smiled to myself. I'm like, nice.
Also, a big shout out to our player 6 who is not here today. This was, of course, Wolven, aka All Things Fantasy, who during our session 0 helped me come up with this idea for the prequel. And I think it is a wonderful way to start the adventure. You get like a really good sense of some of the characters, you get a good sense of some of the NPCs, and more importantly, you get to really build that dislike and hatred of Mistress Dusklight, because she is actually
Sounds like
a
there's circus
villain
competition.
in this. So like it's
Oh,
much
nice.
better, I think, than just simply having it be like, aha, and now here is this
Quest
villain you
to
know
save
nothing
our
about.
families.
Oh, that villain.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let us now be off and raid. Who shall we raid? We shall raid. Lou Boffin. Oh, Lou Boffin. Who's Lou Boffin talking to? You are talking to Ava. Oh, yeah, no, we're going to go there. So Ava is our dear friend from Deerstalker Pictures, and Lou Boffin is our dear friend Lou. So we're going to go raid, because we love these people.
Hey.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You can find it here a number of times during the week. Be sure to check us out later on this weekend. For you in the US, we will be doing it on Saturday night. For those in Australia, Sunday morning, as we get into Dragon Kitchen this weekend.
Yeah!
So so be sure to come and tune in. There, all of the details will be available on our Twitter page. All the links you can see in the description there. Stay safe, stay wonderful. Until we meet again, as always, from me to you, game hard or die trying. Farewell.
Bye.
Bye.